Hello everyone, this is Kazai-sai again. I wanted to talk about Boogie's video that I just saw. I'm not sure if he recently posted it, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with Total Biscuit. And he didn't even mention it, but it makes sense, what he said in the video. And I really wanted to just kind of like add to that or really share my personal opinion on that and stuff like that, and that's fine. And he made a video entitled "Why Do YouTubers Quit Social Media?" Um, and the video I'm responding to is Boogie 2988's video on that kind of subject. Now, here's the thing: I feel like I understand people who decide to quit social media. I'm barely on Facebook. I'm not even on my Tumblr anymore. I quit Twitter like as soon as it started. Uh, and with YouTube comments, I don't comment as often as I do comment every now and then on things that have piqued my interest, and I just am curious to see what people had to say about it. Maybe somebody asked them, hey, let me see what you think about it, or share your experiences and stuff like that. And I remember just kind of the one fight that I always seem to get into. It's not just my video from like 3 years ago. I more or less uh, have recently dabbled into researching divination items, uh, so call and so forth, the Ouija board. And the Ouija board, in and of itself, I feel, is just a toy, considering that the planchette and the board itself were made separately by two different people who have patented them. And the guy who made the board worked for a toy company. And, he heard about the planchette, wanted to put it together as one whole piece and stuff like that. And, you know, he ended up buying out the patent from the guy who created the planchette, which was just a souvenir, sort of like a magnifying glass, it seemed. It's just a souvenir, a little novelty item. And if you think about it, the planchette itself, and concerning its history and concerning the history of Milton Bradley, um, it's quite old, quite old. So when it comes down to it, at the very end, I do not believe that the Ouija board is a proper divination tool, and here's why. Because I'm adding logic, and this is just before I really get into the subject of Boogie 2988's video that he made on this topic. I wanted to actually just put in some logic as to why I believe that the Ouija board is honestly full of shit. Why people would even believe that something like that can contact demons and spirits and all this other stupid bullshit. I watched Lupus Creepus twice attempt the Ouija board, twice with no results. I looked up the history that I gave you a bit about. The rest of that history is it was patented by a toy company. A guy who patented the board bought the patent for the planchette, the thing that you use on the board. What people keep calling nowadays the cursor, which is not what it's called, the planchette. And so the entirety of the thing going on was later down the line, after the Ouija board was patented by itself with the planchette, an occultist came by and claimed it as a divination tool. Now, my logic behind it is, if ghosts or spirits or demons or whatever have this power, which, if you know anything about spirits like I do, which I do and don't believe them. I do because I've had my experiences as a young child, and I don't because now that I'm older, I do not have the, I guess, the ability to really see them anymore, like I did when I was a kid, so I just stopped believing, even though I like I said, I do and I don't. The logic behind a spirit having power, if they could move anything, they just would. I've had a poltergeist in my house for years before he left, a couple of years ago. because nothing has fallen off of my shelves, and it'd be things that's standing on solid ground, just like just a solid standing for each and every single one of them. None of them wiggle, none of them move. They have a stand for for themselves. They have a nice wide stand, and sometimes these things would just fall the fuck off, and I don't know why. It happened to my nephew when he started living with us, and because shit got crazy here, because I'm gonna be blatantly honest, my family is fucking insane. The poltergeist has not been bothering us that much anymore. So what came of that? What came of that was a situation where I decided to do some research on some things that my parents seem to always argue about, or really argue with me about, i.e. the Ouija board and other things like that. I mean, fuck, my dad cried when Obama won the first time around. And I'm just kind of sitting there like, I voted for the damn guy, and now I'm getting requests for I'm getting these, what are they called? Like, more like, callings or heralds for, jury duty. And I was just like, nope, I'm not doing that, because I keep getting issued to go to Compton, which is, I'm not going to fucking Compton. Fuck that. Anyway. And most people are like, oh, it's not that far away, you could just serve it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get raped. Can we just have some logical standing here? I don't want to get raped. I don't want to get murdered. I don't want anybody talking to me. If I'm going to be doing a service for any reason, really, if I'm going to be doing a service at all, for anything whatsoever, the only people I want talking to me are the people that have involved me in it. Not the people outside, not the people in the streets, not the people in cars, not the people at fucking restaurants and coffee houses and, little bars and shit like that. Gas stations, who gives a fuck? I want people to leave me alone. But if the spirit has power, what I'm trying to say is, if they would move anything, we wouldn't have to lay our hands on it in order for them to move it. It's like me taking one of my amiibos, putting it on a fucking stupid Ouija board, have my put my hands and everybody else's hands on the fucking squid girl's tentacles that are attached to her head, and asking a spirit, hey, we're using an amiibo, can you move the amiibo to yes? Like, fucking stupid. Not to mention, there was already a science behind it. Basically stating that people subconsciously move the planchette because they believe in stuff like that. Right? So, just to be a little bit more straight here, also known as spirit board or talking board, on a flat board marked with the letters of the alphabet, of course. And numbers 0 to 9. Words yes or no, and hello occasionally, and goodbye. Along with various symbols. Right? Right? History. One of the first mentions of the automatic writing method used in the Ouija board is found in China around 1100 AD. In historical documents of the Song dynasty, the method was known as Fuji, planchette writing. The use of planchette writing as an ostensible means of contacting the dead and spirit world continued, and albeit under special rituals and supervisions, was a central practice of the Kwajin school until it was forbidden by the Qing dynasty. Right? Okay. Commercial parlor game. Businessman Elijah Bond had the idea to patent a planchette sold with a board on which the alphabet was printed, much like the previously existing talking boards. The patentees filed on May 28, 1890 for patent protection, and thus is credited with the invention of the Ouija board. Issue date on the patent was February 10th, 1891, they received U.S. Patent 446 054. Bond was an attorney and was an inventor of other objects in addition to this device. An employee of Elijah Bond, William Fuld, took over the talking board production, and in 1901 he started production of his own boards under the name Ouija. Charles Kennard, founder of Kennard Novelty Company, which manufactured Fuld's talking boards, and where Fuld had worked as a varnisher, claimed he learned the name Ouija from using the board, and that it was an ancient Egyptian word meaning good luck. When Fuld took over production of the boards, he popularized more widely accepted etymology that the name came from a combination of the French and German words for yes. The Fuld name would become synonymous with the Ouija board as Fuld reinvented its history, claiming that he himself had invented it. The strange talk about the boards from Fuld's competitors flooded the market, and all these boards enjoyed the heyday from the 1920s through the 1960s. Fuld sued many companies over the Ouija name and concept right up until his death in 1927. In 1966, Fuld's estate sold the entire business to Parker Brothers. Okay, sorry, I was incorrect there. Parker Brothers, which was sold to Hasbro, which I was right there, in 1991, and which continues to hold all trademarks and patents. About 10 brands of talking boards are sold today under various names. Now, the scientific investigation part of this, to prove that it's bullshit, because it's only logical, that if a spirit were to encounter this divination, the so-called divination item, because I'm not gonna stand up for this fucking piece of shit, I tell you, is the Ouija board phenomenon is considered by the scientific community as a result of the ideomotor response. Right? So if a spirit could move an item on something, they would fucking do it without you having to touch it. Makes sense, right? And because there's actually a response system in the human body, the human mind, as it were, moves the planchette. People move the planchette. You, if you use it yourself, with friends, you are probably one that moved the planchette. Your friends move the planchette. Your mother has moved the planchette. Your father has moved the planchette. Everyone you've ever been involved with in terms of the Ouija board has probably moved the planchette, including yourself. And because of this scientific investigation, it is proven wrong that the Ouija board actually fucking works. Various studies have been produced recreating the effects of the Ouija board in the lab and showing that under laboratory conditions, the subjects were moving the planchette involuntarily. Skeptics have described Ouija board users as operators. Some critics noted that the messages ostensibly spelled out by spirits were similar to whatever was going through the minds of the subjects, according to Professor of Neurology Terence Hines in his book Pseudoscience and the Phenomenal. Look that shit up, 2003. Now, the ideomotor response, or the ideomotor phenomenon. The ideomotor phenomenon is a psychological phenomenon wherein a subject makes motions unconsciously. It's the same as you periodically putting on chapstick, unlocking your car, brushing your teeth, taking a bath, going to sleep, sitting down, watching TV, eating food, eating snacks, all ideomotor responses. And that's because it is just as ideomotor to walk as it is to talk, as it is to make gestures when you are speaking, as it is to pay attention. It is all, in a way, automatic and subconscious. The ideomotor response, or ideomotor reflex, often abbreviated as IMR, is a concept of hypnosis. And psychological research, it is derived from the terms idea or mental representation, and motor, muscular action. The phrase is most commonly used in reference to the process whereby a thought or mental image brings about a seemingly reflective or automatic muscular retraction reaction, often of minuscule degree, and potentially outside of the awareness of the subject, as in reflective responses to pain, the body sometimes reacts reflectively with an ideomotor effect to ideas alone without the person consciously deciding to take action. The effects of automatic writing, dowsing, felicitative communication, and Ouija boards have been attributed to the phenomenon. And thus, I am telling you, right fucking now, that the Ouija board and how it works is bullshit because all y'all are fucking moving it. Now, I get into these fights, or these arguments really, on YouTube about not only the Ouija board, but, I'm gonna say it, about weeaboos as well. I know what a weeaboo is. It's somebody who doesn't respect the culture, right? Or denounces themselves as American and claim to be Japanese. That's a fucking weeaboo. Okay? They have no respect for the culture and they're totally denouncing their own culture because they are influenced by Japan one way or another, but have no respect for not only themselves or the Japanese culture or Japan itself. And yes, I'm going to fucking say this, I am not a weeaboo. I'm an otaku. I was born in America. I was adopted from Cuba. I am not denouncing myself. I have learned a fair amount about the Japanese culture. I have great respect for the Japanese culture. And I do and I don't like cosplay. I think anime nowadays is getting fucked. I don't read manga as often as I'd like to, because even if I could, I have far more interests than just Japan, anime, manga, the language, whatever. I'm learning about art, I'm learning about ceramics, I'm learning about food, I'm learning about other languages, I'm learning about culture. I'm really into folk tales right now. I like hearing stories from other people on YouTube about crazy things that they've been through over time, and I feel like this separation of social media that Boogie is talking about really is a big deal nowadays. I'd rather sit here and learn something new and observe people and understand things in a better light and just know more knowledge than the people around me. Because fuck that. Fuck that ignorance that I could be subjected to. I want to be smarter. I want to learn more. I want to keep my mind open. I mean, fuck, I've studied sex, sexuality, gender identity, and race and culture. I'm that open-minded. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you do, what you say, that much. Those last two, that much. I'd rather learn about you and what you've learned yourself, your culture, the food that you eat, the clothes that you wear, the traditions that you have, the things that you do within your culture that are basically a standing symbol of what you are and where you're from. I have friends from Venezuela. I have friends from Europe, Italy, Hungary, France, Greece. I have friends from across the states in Georgia, Florida, Hawaii. I have friends that have traveled the world. I have friends that are extras in films and TV shows. And I'm not calling them links or anything, but I talk to them and I learn things about what they do. I'm learning about their profession and their interests and their admiration for things. The last thing on my mind is anime and manga. Okay? Anime and manga is just something that I like to do. I'm too busy creating my own stuff. Paintings, ceramic pieces, drawing, writing, making my own story, making my own characters, planning ideas for video games that I would like to make and somehow learn how to make video games. Um, you know, I'm getting to a point where, I need to learn how to edit, but I haven't made time for it because I'm so much more interested in getting my creations done, trying to figure things out, managing money, living my life, and handling my family. This is fucking bad. My family's just so bad. And my fucking dad ate a fucking rotten avocado. Who the fuck does that? I've seen him eat like spoiled cream, spoiled meat, now spoiled avocados. Like, it's the last straw for me. The last straw. It's like I have to start. I have to put my bed in the dining room at some point. I think I have to start putting my bed in the dining room with the light on in the kitchen, and just to watch over my dad, make sure that he doesn't fucking eat something else that'll make him sick. This stupid fart. Fuck. So stupid. So fucking goddamn stupid. I'd rather spend time with my boyfriend or by myself watching documentaries and Kitchen Nightmares and Mythbusters, learning things, science. Science. I would love to learn some fucking stuff, from science to food to even math to even random facts that just may not be important, but I learned something. Every day I'm learning something that's really, really, really important to me. And it's because I don't feel, at the age of 26, I don't personally feel like I should stop learning. There's so much in this world that I could learn about. Why not take the time and energy to do so? You know what I mean? So when it comes to social media, I do the best I can to just let people know the facts and the logic. That's it. That's just how it is. Too many times in my history of being on YouTube, I have had to deal with, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to fucking say it. Too many times in my YouTube history, I've had to deal with fucking children. Children on my channel coming on here and being like, fuck you, bitch, nigger, blah, blah, blah. Look. Fuck you. My parents didn't raise me like that. And I may be mean, but that's my choice. I choose to be mean. And then they come on here. Right? They come on to my channel and be like, but yeah, but you don't respect other people's opinions. Calling me names is not an opinion. Fuck that shit. I don't care, So I can see why anybody, in terms of being famous or popular, or just a general celebrity, would quit social media. I can see fucking why. The world is fucking going to hell. It's fucking ruthless. It's pathetic and it's stupid. I know I go on several tangents when I try to talk about something serious, but that's because I love to make my points loud and clear any chance that I get. That's just how I am. And I'm not gonna lie, I am pretentious because I know so much. I am a asshole because I know so much. And I'm still learning. There's more for me to know. There's more opportunities for me to be an asshole. More opportunities for me to be pretentious. But I choose to do so. Just as much as these people that come onto my channel and everybody else's channel whining and complaining, oh, they blocked me, they deleted my comment, and they blocked me, and they flagged me, and they reported me. I'm sorry. But let me tell you something. I have wonderful standing with the YouTube guidelines. Good standing, as it says. Right? So, think about it this way. I want you to also have good standing on YouTube. But I am by no means going to tolerate the guidelines being disobeyed. Rules are there for a reason. We are here to make a community. And with the way things are going, with my generation getting older, working harder, learning more, or becoming more stupid, from what I know, the freaking stupid millennium children, the millennials, are just fucking assholes. I have a friend, and I'm just gonna use her name because I don't even talk to her. My friend Isabella has a child. She's really dark skinned. First couple of times I met this kid, he was punching me, he was loud, he was bratty. And at the time I felt so uncomfortable with her kid's behavior that I didn't feel the need to tell her that her kid's a piece of shit and that she needs to get her head out of her ass and start disciplining him. Pick him up, sit him by the fucking pole, and tell him to behave himself because his behavior is unacceptable. That simple. So, as much as we get it on social media, we do get it in the real world, even though it is not as stark and bold and ugly and disgusting as it is. I don't care about saying anything racist or misogynistic or whatever. I'm egalitarian. I need to speak my mind. That's the person that I am. I speak my fucking mind. And yes, I have friends that may not appreciate it, and I could be fucking wrong. But I'll admit that I'm wrong. And I'll tell them that I'm sorry. But there's no way in hell that I'm going to just hide my thoughts from them. These people I care about way too much and way too often, to the point where if I do lose them because of a mistake that I've made, because I said something bold and straightforward, because I was in the wrong either way, I'm going to admit that I was wrong, I'm going to apologize, and I'm not going to care if they leave. Because honestly, that's their choice. But when it comes to the internet, it just seems that there's some things people can't learn to leave alone. You've been proven wrong. You know, you keep thinking that opinions are about right and wrong. No. The reason why I do what I do, in means of handling my channel, is because I want to obey the guidelines and the rules, and I want everybody else to do so also. And I don't care if those people don't want to be my friends. I don't care if they don't like me. That's just how it is. Nope, I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna be this upstanding citizen. I'm about as upstanding as, the fucking penguin in Japan that takes fish to the home. Goes to the market, gets the fish, and then takes it home. That penguin. My boyfriend's home, so I'm just gonna close this with a conclusion. I'm alright with people leaving social media. I already have. I am about done with the bullshit of people, and I'm not leaving YouTube. I'm not leaving Facebook, and I'm not leaving Tumblr. I just haven't been on it. I haven't closed any of my accounts. I'm just tired of people being so fucking ruthlessly stupid, to the point where I kind of just want a break. I want a break from the idiocy that is the logic of some of my friends in the past. I've lost several friends because of their idiocies and misunderstood bullshit. Having friends is about understanding, you know? And so I want to escape those people. I don't want to be in contact with them that much. I don't want to worry about them too much because I know that they can handle them fucking selves. Obviously, if they're going to be that fucking moronic. There's some people that I do appreciate. Derek, Steph, Matt Hawley, who, if you want to know, there's a channel called Midnight Marinara. He does some vocal recordings over there. He does voice acting on there, and it's very, very good. One of them, myself, I've commented on saying that this is just the best thing. And it was on Tulpa, and I fucking love that creepypasta. It's my favorite creepypasta ever. And then there's Bethany, and there's Catherine, and I love you all very, very much. This was not directed at you. It's just I wanted to let you guys know at the very end of this, of my conclusion, that I am sorry if I've ever said anything that may have been really harsh. I'm just very straightforward, and I'm not going to hide shit from you, quite honestly. I would never, pull the cloth over your eyes. I'm going to say how it is, and even if I don't have enough information, I could be completely wrong. It may sound rude, it may be insulting, it may be overbearing, it may be controlling, but I don't feel the need to sugarcoat or hide things from you. And I believe that as a friend, that is my responsibility, is to be completely transparent and honest with you, because that's how much I trust you. And yes, you may get mad. I understand your anger. It's all my fault if I do make you angry. It is completely my fault. It's the words coming out of my mouth. And I am sorry. Honestly. I do think you guys are fucking precious. If you're angry at me about anything that I might have done in the past few years, fine. It's fine. It's fine. You have every right to be. And with that, I'm gonna say I love you, my friends, very much. And as to everyone else, please do take care of yourselves. Remember to brush your teeth and get some exercise. Get a breath of fresh air if you don't want to be out there for too long. Love yourself, and if you need me, I'm here. And I will see you all later. You have a wonderful, wonderful day, as best as you can, and I want you to. Have a good night, good day, good evening.